Gentlemen, we have a system. A system rebuilt, enhanced, and weaponized for one purpose. To monitor, to archive, and to control the most dangerous organization in professional wrestling. Leagues, territories, and chaos, all contained within a single network. The IWAR Network Tubecast. Powered by intelligence, driven by violence, and now, fully operational.
All right, guys, welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, Alex G. And with me this evening, we have Matt, we have Adam. What's going on, gentlemen? What are you guys going on tonight?
My God, you're way ahead of me.
I know. I have to do that every once in a while. I have to keep you on your toes.
This is the time travel show because we've already started, and I just posted the show. My God.
We'll catch up.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here.
No weird audio artifacts. We're good to go on that. So, okay.
Oh, man. Where the hell is everybody? Email's been sent.
Email's been sent.
The lights are lit.
Lights are lit.
Time's right. It's Colt 45, baby.
Damn,
all
that's
right.
Smooth.
Said no one ever.
Colt 45 is gross.
Is it correct?
It's bad. It's
when I was
real
at
bad.
Alfred, we had West Coast rap party night, and we had the entire refrigerator stocked with Old English malt liquor, 40 ounces.
So that's the smoother one. Like that's not as harsh. The worst being Crazy Horse. That one is that'll get you right. That'll get you jacked up for like 4 days.
I just remember I came home from one of our rehearsals, and there was a keg in the shower, so I showered around it. I didn't care.
Fair enough. Fair enough. If someone can type something in the chat, I want to see if that's operational. See what's going on over there.
You see what I'm writing here?
That came up on that, so we're good. I don't know if it came up on the screen. Yep.
I can see it.
So, guys, a little housekeeping. I've officially been demonetized on YouTube. A couple weeks ago, I got flagged for, I guess what they called inauthentic content, which I'm still trying to get an understanding what that meant. I guess initially they just seemed like I was doing the same video over and over and over again, but I don't do the same video and over again. It's
right.
Different videos every day. So 3 weeks ago, approximately 3 weeks ago, they demonetized me for a day. I made a video and then I appealed. I won the appeal, got monetized again, we're good to go. And then on my birthday, of all things, they demonetized me again. And they don't tell you what you did wrong. So it's like, I couldn't even tell you what I did or how to prevent it. The rules are arbitrary, and they're like, sorry. So that's how that went. But I did another appeal, and they're like, nah, nope. And
telling you, drop the lawyer thing in there. Be like,
no, it's tough because I need to know, like, hey, listen, if I knew I was doing wrong, I could
listen. I have this guy Lee T. Gation. He's going to get involved. Him and Paralegal. The litigators. They'll get you what's rightfully yours. What's your local ambulance chasing lawyer, Alex?
Oh, I don't know. I don't see New York being very different than everywhere else in the world. I notice when I head up to New England, I see all these billboards for lawyers all the time on the highways, right? There is none of that at all in New York. There is no billboards for attorneys. But when I travel outside of New York, I do see all these billboards for, like, we'll get you the most money. Injured? Yeah, we'll get them. But probably my actual lawyers at Simon and Simon are probably
I like the guys that play ads during like the midday shows. It's like, call the Hurt Line or call Jimmy, he knows. Slips, falls. Of course, there's tons of like Red Sox and Celtics stuff. Like, oh, official law firm Mike Vrabel.
What's he doing? He's having a little sex.
He's a friendly guy. Let's just say he's friendly.
Is that any different than Shannon Sharp being friendly?
There was a shirt on one of the pages, and it was it's a real shirt, and it's Ready, Willing, and Vrabel.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's different now.
So was he like married? Is this like a scandalous affair of some sort?
Apparently, yeah, they're both married.
Oh,
It's getting deeper. Like every day, it's like, oh, but wait, there's this.
oh, it's not the whole soap opera. He's not going to lose his job.
Yeah.
So,
So,
all right, Matt. So what do you got for a good old JB?
Johnny B sent along his Q&A. And remember, all the folks out there, that Johnny B answers the questions from you, the fans, and the ridiculousness comes up on the show. On all kinds of things. IWA, pop culture.
I hope Johnny B watches Malibu High. Because if you watch the trailer of that movie and then watch the actual movie, it's a completely different movie than what the trailer said. Yeah, it's completely different. Like, what the hell?
Hey, we'll fix it in post. All right, so Johnny B says here, the day following the second half of episode 210, I rewatched the 1993 superhero comedy movie, The Meteor Man. It's still hilarious, but I'm mentioning it because I'd forgotten that it takes place in Washington, D.C., and opens with footage of political landmarks, including the Lincoln Memorial. It co-starred the late Luther Vandross with an E.
Yes.
And in part one, I mentioned Alex's challenge to me to figure out songs that recent musical creations by Luther Alexander, also with an E, were based on. His email had claimed, quote, the clues are there in the visuals and images if you guys are paying attention, end quote. Everyone Falls in Love was the only one of the bunch to be based on a song with the same name, and it seems that it was not only somehow a clue, but also the only clue, because the AI-generated photo contained the Lincoln Memorial, which was the location of much younger Alex's middle school field trip, as well as what he had been wearing that day when the source material had peaked the popularity. Matt wanted me to ask the host some questions. And one I have for Alex is how he expected me to know any of that. Unlike many other players, he wasn't even that way during middle school. The image of the song Dangerous included the Red Scorpion and the actors from the Warriors and Too Close for Comfort, as well as an episode of Matt's favorite show, Picket Fences. Good Lord. But it was based on Then He Kissed Me by the Crystals. What? Were any of the characters she played in the entire career named Crystal? No. Alex could have at least used Elizabeth Shue. I like that. Regular viewers know she was Alex's first crush because of how the movie Adventures in Babysitting, which opens in that song. Good luck listening to Fade Away multiple times and scouring the pictures for clues, because it wasn't based on anything. This Herculean task was worse than Alex's recent challenge to NWO managers to solve a word search in which some of the items were meant they were meant to find were misspelled on the grid. But I can't be too upset at him because he noticed. He introduced me to incredibly entertaining films and TV shows such as Black Dynamite franchise and movies starring the incomparable Wang Wang. Wow,
love Wang Wang.
I just pictured, he's like, here's a question for him. What type of scotch do you drink to have to like deal with these videos? Like, how much is he pounding away? Zima?
It's a wine cooler of some sort. So I'll go with nice Bartles and James. Maybe
Bartles and James. I remember that.
He has Bartles and James on tap in the basement.
What was it? Was Boone's Farm a local thing, or do you guys have Boone's Farm?
We do not have Boone's
We have
Farm.
Boone's Farm.
Yeah,
we have Boone's Farm.
I worked at a liquor store, and we had two locations, and one was in a strip mall, and it was fine, and the other was on the highway and was basically just waiting to be robbed. And the guy who owned it decided to sink the business to get back at his wife, who's divorcing her. So we went from having like full shelves to like fewer and fewer and fewer things. Totally fun. All right. Anyways, back to Wing Wing. In the image of Luther's recent song, After You, his name is spelled Luther with both an O and an E. At first, I thought it might have been a mistake by the AI. After all, the billboard for Please Don't Leave contains the word boat instead of goat. And the year 1986 has been changed into a word, possibly lame or fake. But Alex surely would have noticed a name error. So now I'm wondering if the singer is beginning the transformation into his IWA counterpart.
Oh.
All right, just to kind of give some background here for anyone listening who doesn't know. Alex, do you want to talk about what the whole endeavor is with the videos?
Which one in particular? We're talking about the...
Well, just that there's a Luther Alexander music video series.
This is hilarious to me. So I had started using Suno just to make. I wanted to make an IWA song. I think that was the first one. So I after I made a few of those, I started kind of experimenting with some other sounds and stuff like that. I was able to do the intro for the Tubecast and some other stuff on top of that. Then I started actually making real songs. So that's on the other YouTube channel, which I have, which is the Canning Music Group. And these are all AI generated, written by me, though, music. If anyone's interested, it hits all genres, and it's hilarious.
All right, there you go. So I was thinking, if someone's new, they won't know what the hell we're talking about.
No, they won't.
The last thing I'll say about Willowick's mayor is that his favorite film is the Fast and the Furious franchise, which I've been watching lately, and got to be the second one because one of the cars in the movie's opening race was sponsored by chilled beverage of choice. I'm guessing that's why they named it Too Fast, Too Julius.
Yes.
At 52:40 into part 2 of the previous broadcast. Oh my God. The wrestling footage teased next, the Maniac wreaks havoc, spelled REEK. Later in the episode, Alex mentioned the regulators all smell the same. Also in that half, I repeated my request that Matt perform the Harlem Shake. At timestamp 1 hour, 12 minutes. I know. Sorry, guys. We know the show's me punishing. We should just breaking them up. I listened to the Bill Simmons podcast over 3 or 4 days. Just makes it easier. If you're sitting there just you're going to hate us, you're going to hate yourself.
They already kind of hate us already.
That's true.
That's fair, though.
We are the most hated men in the IWA, right? Is that what they say sometimes? Mostly you, because it's all your fault.
It is all my fault, too. You don't even do anything.
All right, at timestamp 1 hour, 12 minutes, 40 seconds, my favorite member of the household forced him to do a fairly close approximation of short-lived dance craze. Alex should upload the clip to a cat lover's website because Matt is so incredibly fond of puns. The title of the video should be play on the pet's name, Shaken, Not Purred.
Oh.
Also in that second half, Alex wondered if I had ever considered placing our ad in any other wrestling publication, such as the UK publication Inside the Ropes. Johnny Wade Jr. says, we've always largely concentrated on the North American market, not only to improve the chances of potential players speak English, helps, but also to avoid postal difficulties. The manager of Big Bad Bob resides in England and plays off the grid.
He's a real person?
He's a real person.
No.
Bob Backlund is his name, I'm pretty sure.
Is it Bob? Is it
Not
the
kidding.
Bob Backlund?
Maybe. He's insane, right? Let's see. Sorry, I jumped around here. The manager of Off the Grid and the mail delivery sometimes must pose quite a challenge for him. Luckily, they have yet to prevent him from being totally awesome. Shout out to Big Bad Bob. We're all Big Bad Bob fans.
We do all of them.
And
there's a fondness for Goldberg's music.
The drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so jumping ahead here. On the last show, Alex inquired about bringing out our basketball game back. Math feels would be a fun time and suggested using it for an upcoming Imaginmania. Alex had asked during the episode before that, Johnny B, how did the basketball game work? How did you guys score that? All right. Here we go. Let's get your pens out ready. Our other sports games were designed by a friend of my father, the original Johnny B. He had been one of my dad's fellow teachers. And when my father learned that he had been laid off, he hired him to help him out. The guy was a member of Mensa, or at least had been at one point in his life, and his places were very complicated. Players had to choose more than 15 numbers, and when a game took place between two teams, the strategy for each were compared against a so-called ideal team. Similarities and differences between players' team strategy and that of the ideal team determined events like 2-pointers, 3-pointers, fouls, free throws, etc. I was particularly proud of my program for the Imaginary Baseball League because it had the computer simulate an entire baseball game, keeping track of which team member was on base, etc. And players received detailed report of the action, play-by-play, so they could mentally picture it all playing out. I was definitely not a fan of the play system for sports games and was relieved when the decision was made to finally shut them down. Not only had they been difficult to code due to their complexity, but they all utilized the concept of an ideal team. The problem was with that strategy of the ideal team was generated randomly at the beginning of every game. In other words, everything was based on luck and luck alone. Teams would face each other numerous times during a round of play with wildly differing results because it was all random. While the people playing certainly had fun, I strongly disliked the fact that there was no way for rookies to improve, unlike that way, and wondered if the team owners would have enjoyed the experience as much as they had been aware of the gory details. As a side note, I find it a bit puzzling that Alex is the first person to ever ask this question. We never published hold values or anything like that in the sports games, so we would think at some point someone would have asked how to improve, right? Perhaps the reason is that people simply aren't as sophisticated during their teen years anyways. I was also annoyed that I had to go through such tedious, time-consuming programming for what essentially amounted to nothing more than a coin flip. I recall thinking at the time that a member of Mensa should realize that basing everything on a set of random numbers would mean the results would themselves always be random, but he never seemed to. My father was too nice of a person to hurt the guy's feelings. So as long as as long as I'm at the helm, we won't be bringing back any of our sports games, but I'm glad people have fond memories of playing them and hope this rant wasn't irreparably tarnished those memories. We really did put a lot of work into launching those games and keeping them going and trying to give players a good experience despite what I considered to be their dark secret. But perhaps the ideal team model somehow allows the possibility of strategy. After all, I've never seen a member of Mensa. After all, I've never been a member of Mensa, so what do I know? It's okay. Quick side note on the games. I played baseball, hockey, football, basketball. I did the boxing one. I know that falls in the same thing. I was thinking about this. We could do an IWAR like summer softball game. And what I was thinking was to score the holds. Each player would have to submit like their wrestler's like strategy, but I would base it on a certain number of holds. So like we'd have like, instead of having like holds 45 or hold 90, I would use like holds like that are terrible. And the idea is to have as few points as possible. So it would kind of reverse it and just be like it'd be a one-time thing for the summer, just like something stupid. But anyways,
what's the lowest score you can get?
That's a good question. Johnny B can answer that.
What's like it's 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, 2 4s, 2 5s, 2 6s, 2 7s.
So 20.
It'd be 1 through 5.
That's why I'll let Johnny B answer it, because I'm sure he'll have a better answer than I will going on in my head doing math. Let's see here. Matt noted, when players activate jobbers by including them in their partner in a tag match, their strategy total goes towards the league average. At least that's the way it used to be. Johnny B says, I confirm that hasn't changed, but I can also confirm that the practice will cease beginning on Thursday. Now that it has been brought to my attention, my main motivation is to allow Adam to carry out his fantastic plan of partnering with Jobber Priest in the WTL.
Yes.
Do it. All right, so that's good to know. I
did not know that. I would not ruin everyone's chance to get the highest scoring league for my Jobber Priest challenge. But
I think I said this before, but like Frank Snow, when he and I were in the BRL, he would do like these challenges and have feuds between jobbers and send in jobbers matches.
Yeah, there's some people that do that, and like I've been in leagues, and there'll be someone they'll do stuff like they'll write trash talk for the jobbers against each other, and just like teach their own.
I mean, the BRL just is about to double up as back-to-back with a 10 free match bonus. Yeah. If I was a real dick player and I wanted to I knew other leagues, SHL isn't really good, I'll send a couple of matches in. Jab, jab, jab. Let's see here. Johnny B. Jr. Oh, I'm sorry. Alex asked, for people who get their stuff in early, do you preload? Say I send my trash talk tomorrow. Do you compile it and take it down, or save it, or put it in a pile for next cycle? Excuse me. Johnny B. Jr. says some players actually do send in trash talk and even strategies the very evening we post the bulletins. Oh my god! Oh my god! Frank Snow used to tell me he would do his strategy that night. The results came in. Now I like having played with the SOS guys and seeing how they do their strats. I'm like, I could never do that. So anyway, sorry. We work ahead whenever we can, but the bulk of every federation submissions typically arrive very shortly before the absolute deadline. We appreciate the early birds. Yeah, sorry guys, I've been kind of bad lately about that.
Your Friday, Saturday, Sunday people, and your Monday people, or your Tuesday morning people.
You know what the good news is that the stuff I didn't submit this past cycle for ACW, my ACW trash talk's already done. All right, so Alex noted that some of the pages of a recent trash talk had faded from bright to white to less flashy, off-white shade, and accused IWAR of shenanigans and tomfoolery. I'll begin my response by noting that this accusation was leveled by the same manager who just submitted a commissioner's report weighing approximately weighing in around 25 megabytes. While the average league PDF bulletin PDF, which includes rankings, match results, and trash talk from other leagues, other players, measures a mere 1.5 megs in comparison.
It should come as no surprise. Detail-orientated in the NWL. I'm sorry.
Hey, it was a new format. Whatever, it worked. It should come as no surprise to anyone that the IWAR bulletins, particularly those from the IWAR variety, can be quite heavy when printed out. From time to time, we shrink pages to make folding and mailing them more manageable. All that applies to the digital versions as well. Our PDFs are routinely compressed via specialized software that reduce not only storage requirements, as not every player has a 26 terabyte hard drive like Alex, upon which to stash their private bulletin collection, but also the time spent waiting for the files to download, as not every manager is lucky enough to enjoy internet access as lightning fast and rock solid as Alex's. Unfortunately, compression can occasionally result in side effects, such as colors being slightly altered or images not holding up well under large zoom factors. But at least his TT was still far closer to pure white than Tracy Koloff's wedding dress will ever be. Oh boy. Oof. Remember, folks, she grew up in a neighboring Eastlake, Ohio, and word gets around. Is that true?
According to the Facebook group, it is.
Oh, wow. I pose the query. We often ask Adaway and Johnny B all kinds of questions. What about flip the table and let them ask questions, player stuff, etc.? So he ends with a few questions. All right, ready?
All right.
Size 13.
Right. Boxer briefs.
He's never going to answer that. I've given up.
Don't do the hammock, though, guys. Trust me on that one.
Especially if you go to the new public pool in Willowick that just opened up. That's going to open up under construction right now. I'll tell you right now, they're not Speedo friendly. Just keep that out there.
All right.
You got real mad at me for that one.
Okay. It says, question 1. Can you think, this is for all players, you guys listening, you can chime in on this.
But in the comment section.
Yes. Can you think of an angle you came up with for one of your wrestlers' characters that you really believed would go over, but ended up receiving a lukewarm reaction from your fellow players? Do you want to do all the questions? Or you want to answer them right now?
Let's go one by one.
Okay. So go ahead, Alex. You go first.
So, what storyline did I do that didn't hit?
Yeah, it flopped. Did not go over.
That doesn't happen very often. So I'm thinking of something early. Let's see. No, that went over pretty good. I don't know. Maybe the one where Luther goes to Mexico and he goes into the Luchador temple and then he steals the mask of the first luchador, and then burns down the temple, and then Ted the Terrible Bear chases him out. No one gave a shit about that one. Or Luther went to Africa to reconnect with his roots, and
Yes.
found Tupac there. That one didn't go over well.
Adam, how about you? Anything you like created you were excited about, and you're like you get it out there and then like.
It's more like starting stuff and then like someone leaving the game sort of thing versus trying to think of one off the top of my head that's trying to get going. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I do know one at first. I was like, what the heck is going on? Is when Larry came back with barbed wire and like started killing everyone that Rachel Van Dorn knew. And I was like, who the heck is this that keeps... And I was like... And it was awesome in the end because it made me flesh out that character a lot more. But I was just like, all right, like, trying to think one that didn't.
I can.
Yeah, I can't think of that off my head, but.
Think of it from a commissioner standpoint. I've a number of times.
Oh yeah, that
had a player who was like, "I'm going to come in and be like, awesome, great," and then they no show, or they, like within 3 cycles are gone, and that's frustrating because you think to yourself, "Oh man, no." The most recent one that flopped was back when we had when we had Lucha feuding with Luther, and there was this whole bit where Cena Lucha's body was breaking down. He was too old. He had to retire. And Ghostly Shadows gave him a haunted mask from an orphanage in Mexico. So Lucha drove down to see this orphanage, and it turned out it burned out like in the 30s. It was haunted, and it was a haunted mask, but he still wore it, and then he ended up taking it off, and he healed. Well, that mask gets found by Aliatari. He goes where it was, and he puts it on because he's going to try to defeat the demon. And I had this whole idea of Atari being like this mask, blah, 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 and no one gave a shit. So I was like, you know what? Just pull the plug. Don't worry about it. No, like
it happens, and that's the thing too. It's knowing when to pivot.
Like the Wyatt 6 in WWE all got fired tonight. Like they all got released. So it's like if you liked anything to do with the Wyatts, done.
Well, is that too? Like I've had other characters that didn't go anywhere too. That's probably like I had the Willowick Warrior at one point. I had a Sheik character at one point that didn't go anywhere. I did Magnum Force Tag Team, which was like it was who was it? Chuck Norris and Carl Weathers was the avatars for that.
Yeah,
that didn't go anywhere. I had a Jay Crockett character, which is supposed to be like Don Johnson from Miami Vice. Nice. That didn't do anything. So it happens, for sure.
It's a thing I feel like, because people will say like, oh, I have an idea for a gimmick or an angle or a feud or whatever. And I always feel like, think about like, how's it going to play out in 3 cycles? Like, how will it play out? And oftentimes you might have a funny idea for a character, but they don't really go anywhere. It's like, oh, what are we going to do with, this character in a few cycles? And they just don't, So, I would say always try, something fun, whatever, but try writing like a promo for it and like really thinking like, how's this going to play out? Like, where does this go? Like, do I have like with He-Man Hogan? His whole gimmick is about being this like sleazy, like adult star / wrestler. He's just a dirtbag. Like what can you do with that? So his thing is he kind of like hits on the mothers of his opponents. But there's more to it than that. He's a like a loser of the week. Which, by the way, I will say this: everybody who I like, almost 50% of the time, if I pick someone to be like Hogan's like loser of the week or chump of the week, they win a title. So it's like it's good news if you see that.
Good luck, Tron.
Yeah. All right. Question 2. Share a memorable moment when something worked out in your favor, such as a win with your wrestler's story, really needed it, or a time when a manager you were feuding with responded in a way that made you exclaim, I love this game. Adam? No pressure.
All right, yeah, no pressure on top of my head. There was like that whole the Rachel Van Dorn barbed wire feud. Like everything just like went back and forth really well with that. Larry's awesome to work with anything like that. Probably when like the McFlahertys finally beat the Samoans after like chasing that, like they would win the title from someone that wasn't Samoan Death Grip, and then the Samoan Death Grip would beat them for the titles, and they'd fight their way back and lose to the Samoan. Like, took me forever to beat those guys. So when they finally won, that's pretty big. Yeah, so those are two off the top of my head that I can think of. Way back in the NWL, when in between Alex's time at the NWL, there's a pay-per-view event, and it was Honor Revolt was feuding with what was that guy's name? He did a heel turn on them. Oh, I can't remember his name.
Was it
because then he ended up teaming with the
Mark Justice?
Mark Justice, yeah. They were all feuding, but then there was like My Two Dads was hanging out with Dark Danger after they tried to do an exorcism. There's a whole other side issue. And Oliver Livingston. And like those two, it was kind of like three different groups all meeting at like this pay-per-view. Like the tag titles are on the line, and like all the titles are on the line. And like somehow like My Two Dads and Dark Danger and Oliver Livingston, we ended up winning like a bunch of stuff on that. So that was pretty early in the game, and that's pretty awesome. So yeah, those would probably be the off the top of my head.
All right, Alex, how about you?
It's always tough. It's, watching other people kind of go from like especially like in the NWO, you see people start out and they're kind of just going in one direction, and then all of a sudden like you see them get better and better and better and better and better at the game. To me, that's the whole purpose of what we do here, especially as commissioners. Like watching like the Maryland Militia, like they're doing all this like crazy fun stuff. Seeing the come up, they're doing all this crazy fun stuff. So like watching that stuff, like what the, and they push us. Like we've been doing this a long time, but when you have that kind of the fresh energy and the enthusiasm, it kind of pushes you as a commissioner. It's like, well, this is why I play, because these guys get it. You don't get that a lot. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. I let that to come up. Like I was just promoting Murano. I think it's Murano. So I just sent like a random, the Blue Bloods went there and said something to them, and they like ran with it and came up with like a whole, like I did one thing, they came up with another thing back. Like they like took it and just like ran with it and like hit everything just right. Yeah. So like, yeah.
Crazy good.
Yeah. They get better so much faster. Like,
yeah, that's the thing too.
Like all of a sudden it'll be like 5 cycles and they're just hitting like 499s. I'm just like, all right.
What was I? Wait, I was like 10 cycles in before I won my first title, I think. Like,
right.
It was a long time. Matt, what do you got?
I will say the most recent one I think was in the BWL. And it was Gina Colada's like year-long drive to win regain the IWAR championship, and it just all kind of played out right. Like the Queen of the Ring tournament broke the right way, the title match broke the right. It wasn't a long reign by any means, but that was a cool mission. And now what I've done is if you see the latest BWL, she comes out and it's like I always feel those fans are like, you're great. I remember in the old days, like they'd have like fan mail, and the guy would come out, this lady sent me a letter, and they used it as a prop. So I had Gina come out with a box of letters from fans and throw them on the ground, and like she attacked a wrestler and threw the letters on, ripped the letters up and spit them on. Now she's mad about losing the belt. The Von Schnaps winning the Murano finally was good, although boo. That was fun, but I mean, it depends. Like some feuds, I feel like when I see other players, earning a title shot, or like, oh, this guy got this, like I keep thinking the BRL's got all these big names in it, so like you want to have like the top title match to be a big name. So like when Shane Dowell won the title shot, It's like, oh, that's great. It's another big name title match. And you like said, it's like super shows come along, so things are going to play out with that. And so I find a lot of times this game is about taking what happens that wasn't necessarily intended, but spinning it in a way that makes it work. So, for example, the latest of Magic Clash, Rex Chambers wins the world title, the IWAR world title. So,
hot potato,
like, okay,
buddy.
Huh?
Hot potato, Jesus.
I know, hot potato. So, well, Luther Alexander still has a
I'm going to duck Rex Chambers. You crazy? How much time I got?
I know, a year. So
Okay.
we pushed up the date on the Super Show to like get it out earlier, so we like wouldn't be sitting there, lingering. And now it's like, oh shit! Like next cycle is the match cycle. All right. So it's a fun thing, but what we're doing now is each of the commissioners is nominating one wrestler to like represent their league in this match, where we'll determine a new Revolution champion because it's going to be vacated with him winning the world title. So that's a fun thing too. Like when I see stuff happen that kind of plays out, I root for guys who are like Joe Tusa. I'm always pulling for Joe Tusa. I set up the Joe Tusa challenge. I haven't done the math on it yet, but it hasn't won yet. But the idea is that whenever Joe Tusa and his tag partners win, they split a big pot of free matches. So it's going to be cool. Third question. Finally, one inspired by the show's new intro. If modern science could transform your tired old body into one capable of withstanding the brutal punishment that only real-life worlds of professional wrestling can dish out, what would your ring name and gimmick be? Which promotion would you sign with? I think Luther Alexander would be a very viable.
I mean, that's what I'd probably go with, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's very WWE NXT also as a name. Like it's very NXT.
Mm-hmm. So one of our characters is a real wrestler. I mean, the easy one would be Rachel Van Dorn. Like, it's just Paige Van Zandt, and she just basically does exactly what she does on any of the shows. Like, I feel like that one would write itself. I could see the McFlaherty as like a tag team, but they'd be kind of like an Irish FTR sort of vibe. Like they would just come into the ring, and they're not going to be like, they're not little, but they're not bigger or stronger than anyone, but they just do whatever it takes to win. And they're just kind of, sometimes people root for them, and then sometimes they don't. Like just kind of that. I know the cop out is to be like the tweener, but like that's kind of who they are as a team. And I could see like the Maryland Blue Bloods and like some sort of like small indie, just kind of like being these goofball English people that pretended 1700 sometimes, but then forget what year it is and do something else.
What would be a 17th century Maryland accent anyway?
So yeah, probably just like, I don't know, just make a British accent, mix with a little modern Balmer accent, and another day. But yeah, I don't really, I don't know how to write a Maryland accent. I didn't even grow up in Maryland, so I really don't know that much about Maryland. But they have fun names, so, and a cool flag. What guy, Matt, would be your character?
I think it would depend on like. I think LePage Turner is the most obnoxious, easy sell, because the whole 501 Ways to Win book would be a very promotable, like obnoxious, like, because you could take it all different ways with like him like trying to get on Jimmy Kimmel, or like him trying to get like to a library and sign books. Like, who the hell are you? I think one of the things I like about that way is a lot of my characters I think would translate very well, because there's certain like Barry Stevens, I always felt like as a psychotic, like liberal lunatic. There was a guy in the South like wrestling for a while. He was like a liberal, whatever, and he was like kind of playing like the crowds if he was a Trump town or whatever, right? And I think there's just so much, and like right, it's like what's going on right now in AEW with Brody King when he shows up and they chant "fuck ice." That's like a real heat. And the thing is funny, like Barry Stevens kind of went from like the guy who was kneeling like about 10 years ago and was hated for it, is now the guy who's like, you know, the freedom fighter. That's a very easy, like there's so much you could pull off of that. And like the thing though, like I always find his best work, with the best writing with him, is when he takes an unrealistic like analogy or uses like some sort of like, oh yeah, postal worker, you know, or like the mailman, you know, whoever, the milkman, like some kind of like, he sees somebody and just totally extrapolates this into some other huge error. Jim Spur is an easy character to play because he's just a lunatic. He's just like a crazed like cowboy. But yeah, the joke is that he's so dumb and so like insane that it plays well. I don't know. I mean, like, you write certain characters like the Von Schnapps are just basically just, you know, a trio of strats for me. I have kind of personalities with them, like, you know, like I just kind of erased Victor Von Schnapp Jr. because I was doing nothing. Like you mentioned, you know, characters that flopped. He just never, ever really got traction. He had one good feud with Mike Mason, and that didn't work out. And like it was like, you know what? I'll just drop him. And I transferred his record to the BRL. Now we have Von Schnapps there. Monstruck Tanaka will be a blast for someone to play. Man, I'm just thinking like different characters, like Senor Lucha, and I do think of all the promos, his promos being up in the rafters with the fans will be fucking amazing, because when he comes, like the music is Mexican Radio by fucking band Wall of Voodoo, and you have spotlights going around the arena so no one knows where he is. And you just see the spotlights racing around, and they start disappearing one at a time. And one's left, and it shows them up in the cheap seats. And there's a guy cutting a promo with you, you know. And it's an over-the-top, hokey, old good guy type routine, but it's just like Spanish telenovela, you know. And plus, he has his big testicles with him, so you know you get that.
There it is.
So, anyways, I think it's a good aspect of when you're writing your characters is to think, could this be like on TV? Would this be a character I'd want to see? So there it is. So once again, if you have questions for IWA, questions like what's the lowest strategy score possible? Why can't we, you know, like Johnny said earlier, they're wiping out the scrubs for matches. And there was somebody
and I will try to compress my PDFs.
Alex, who was the guy? Oh, who was the guy who used to team up, like he'd fight Luther and team up with like Luther with like two jobbers to beat him in a match? Oh, there was someone who used to do that.
I did that.
No, but it was like
so I would do.
They
I
legit
would
did that, like to get back.
Six man and then pair like Adam Cash with two jobbers to beat the shit out of them. Yeah. Which is hilarious. Which is the gimmick that someone should actually try to do, because that's amazing.
All right, well there you have it. The Q&A with IWA. All
right, so where do you want to start?
You're asking me for? I'd say make Adam do some work.
All right.
Casting Couch League number 69.
The Casting Couch League. It is BWL 69 for the official record.
Oh my god!
Sure.
So let's do that.
Sorry.
All right, well, ladies first, I guess. So we'll do the BWL.
Nice.
BWL 69. Black Widow champion is Veruca Salt. TV champion Brenda Payne. Japan Idol champion Vampirella. Joshi champion Crazy Jenny Star. Zenjo champion Aria Gunpowder. Luchadors champion Mother D. Cholitas champion Rachel Van Dorn. Valtrex champion Huntress. Themyscira champion The Queen Gina Colada. Highwood champion Sensational Sydney Reinhold. Sensei champion Fallon Donovan. Wilwick champion Priceless Sarah B. Money. And the Battle Royal winner was Brenda Bring the Pain. Black Widow tag champion Sensational Sydney Reinhardt and Crazy Jenny Star. TV tag champions Aria Gunpowder and Rachel Van Dorn. Black Widow 6-woman champions Rachel Yamazaki, Rachel Van Dorn, and Crazy Jenny Star. And the TV6 Women Champions, Enchantress, Bandita, and Vampirella.
So what's going down in the BWL?
So the Lethal Lottery starts up next cycle. So we have all the teams listed in here. So, and if I remember correctly, the winning team gets a tag title shot, and then the two that face each other, the winner gets a IWAR women's title shot. And I'm not sure if the second place person gets a global or a wildfire title shot. I think that's what happens. Pay-per-view, it's where the boys aren't 5. And don't worry, if you haven't seen 1 through 4, you'll be able to catch on pretty quick what's going on. And Arya defends all of her titles. Cards on there.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Yeah, we got the trash talk. See if anything. Arya gets attacked by people that are going for her titles. As you said, Gina Colada takes her goodwill that others bestowed upon her and is just like, I don't like any of you anyways. I'm done with all of this. That's the vibe I got. Bandita has her usual good trash talk. That's a well-written character. Big Bandita fan. Cindy Reinhardt announces her thing. Mama D, the women's deathmatch champion. And Rachel Van Dorn is at WrestleCon. And Hocus Crocus gets involved. So, anytime there's a spell casting a frog, if there's a spell casting frog involved, like
not again.
Yeah, I might have jumped the shark on this one, but we'll see where this goes. And then Veruca Salt is talking about being the. I guess she wasn't the champ yet, but talking about winning the Lethal Lottery. That's basically it. And as always, a lot of fun in the BWL. You just have your one wrestler, one strat. So,
right.
A lot of fun.
All right, man. I dig that. So, Matt, where do you want to go now?
Me? What did I do? Why don't we bang out? Well, your rookies are going to be itching to hear their stuff. You got your rookie recap ready?
I sure do.
Oh, there you go.
All right, guys. It is NWL, National Wrestling League, Bulletin 251. League champion, Savion Banks. TV champion, Danny Zero. Central Plains champion, Andre Carrington. East Coast champion, Tommy Calloway. Great Lakes champion, Ryan Rivers. Mid-Atlantic champion, Glock Lesnar. Northeast champion, Crush Groove. Pacific Northwest champion, Mac Chuck Murphy. Ryan Mountain champion, Mr. Fabulous. Southeast champion, Ricky Wolf King. Southwest champion, Magnum AI. And West Coast champion, Bobby the Mangler Moreau. League Tag Team Champions, Savion Banks and Crush Groove. TV Tag Team Champions, Prince Pimplefire and Mac Truck Murphy. League 6-Man Champions, Savion Banks and Crush Groove. I'm sorry, League 6-Man Champions, Savion Banks, Andre Carrington and Crush Groove. TV 6-Man Champions, Magnum AI, Zeke Rendali and Devilish Danny Zero. And your Battle Royal winner, Sixpence, Tommy Calloway. So what's going down in the NWL? Well, I got our recap here, so let's get that started. And I want to share my screen with these guys so they can hear as well. So include sound. Okay, and 3, 2, 1.
This is Ian Mooney reporting. National Wrestling League Cycle 251 delivered another chaotic chapter on the road to homecoming. As leadership cracks widened, champions were challenged, and rivalries intensified across every level of the company. The evening began with disturbing reports from backstage involving Jack Cornette and Samantha Soley. What was described as a heated confrontation quickly turned into a full-scale verbal war. Soley openly questioned Cornette's handling of the league after the destruction in Oklahoma City, accusing him of losing control. Cornette fired back with anger and personal insults, making it clear the NWL front office is no longer operating on the same page. If there was ever doubt about instability behind the scenes, it was erased here. Up next, the NWL National Champion Brian "The Great Entertainer" Clothier then erupted in search of his missing challenger Zizix. Clothier entered the locker room expecting answers and instead found an empty locker. The result was immediate destruction. In a fit of rage, the champion tore apart the locker and then confronted Crush Groove, who attempted to calm him down. Clothier answered by striking Groove and sending him into the wall before storming toward the ring. Once in front of the crowd, Clothier accused Zizix of disappearing when the pressure became real and declared that too many men in the company were ducking him. He demanded someone with courage step forward. That someone was Crush Groove. The usually relaxed member of the come-up walked to the ring with a far different demeanor. Groove told Clothier he had always respected him, but the backstage disrespect changed everything. He promised to take the national championship and prove that even the Great Entertainer could be upstaged. Their stare-down made it clear that title fight is now firmly on the horizon. Later in the program, the come-up took center stage as Savion Banks, Andre Carrington, and Crush Groove addressed the league. Banks promised that Homecoming would mark their coronation when they defeat the Maryland Militia and capture Tag Team Gold. He also dismissed Johnny Revolution and Deathpack as relics trying to stay relevant. Carrington then turned his attention to Luther Alexander, criticizing him for allowing Deathpack to attack Jack Cornette. He warned that while many in the locker room could fend for themselves, Cornette was off limits. Tensions rose, microphones were cut, and security intervened, but the come-up left smiling after sending their message. Prince Pimplefire then delivered one of the strangest sights in recent memory. In a darkened promo, he mocked Deathpack, challenged Magnum AI to join him against them, and promised revenge on Mark the Fan Botch. When the lights came on, Pimplefire was revealed wearing Crush Groove's fur coat with a cigar in his mouth. Moments later, he ripped the coat apart and set it on fire, adding another layer to his growing war with the come-up. That same Pimplefire later challenged Botch for the NWL Grand Prix Championship in a punishing rematch. Pimplefire controlled large portions of the bout and eventually locked in the feared Pimple Popper submission. But Botch refused to surrender. Summoning every ounce of strength, he countered with the crushing fan hug. Both men faded under the pressure, but Pimplefire weakened first and collapsed, giving Botch a dramatic title defense. Still exhausted, Botch announced that on the Go Home show before Homecoming, he will face Ryan Rivers. The winner of that contest will defend the Grand Prix Championship against Andre Carrington at Homecoming, instantly raising the stakes of the division. Elsewhere, the Maryland Blue Bloods formally requested that the come-up appear in the Western Trails League for a posse battle, showing that their influence now reaches beyond WL borders. A dangerous new arrival also emerged as Glock Lesnar entered the scene wearing a gas mask and issuing threats to the entire locker room. His size, presence, and aggression immediately placed the roster on notice. Finally, Ryan Rivers appeared on SiriusXM in New York City as part of the Homecoming media tour. Rivers dismissed Johnny Revolution as a man desperate for attention and declared himself the standard of the National Wrestling League. He promised that if the two ever meet, it will not be a wrestling match, but a fight. Cycle 251 brought no peace, only escalation. Power is shifting, tempers are boiling, and Homecoming continues to grow into a collision point for every major force in the company. And now, back to the Tubecast.
All right, and that was your NWL recap. And in addition, we do have the Homecoming pay-per-view will take place the next cycle, so we're going to use the strategies for cycle 252. So, guys, make sure that you bring your A games because this strategy is the one that's going to count towards the pay-per-view. Also, guys, do yourself a favor and just make sure you read the whole bulletin. It's now least my part of this, the commission report is now in full magazine mode. So some Easter eggs in there to go hunt and find, and some hilarious and shenanigans will take place. Great job with all the trash talk this cycle, guys. So keep that up. A lot of newcomers coming in, trying to make an impact. So that's good to see. So great job, guys, and keep it up. And Matt, where do you want to go next?
What? Oh.
Who is that masked man?
Hold on. I have my glasses on so I can read. Let's see. Why don't we go to ACW, alphabetical.
ACW. Who's going to do that one?
All right.
You going to do that one?
Sure.
Okay.
Number 23, your league champion, Ken the Anvil Neidhart. Your American Territories champion, AJ Singh. Your New England champion, Texas Jesse Tombstone. Atlantic Coast champion, Colonel Flustered. Great Lakes champion, Vin Perez. Smoky Mountain champion, the Gaelic Dick Moore. The Deep South champion, the Man of the Night, Deuce Forsyth. The Gulf Coast champion, Senor Lucha.
Unbelievable.
Yep. The Texas Heartland champion, FedEx Bobby Brutal. Rocky Mountain champion, Keanu Thunder. Desert State champion, Steve Patch Johnson, which there is a group of characters in this league all named after General Hospital characters.
Really?
Oh. Yeah. Brady Brothers, Bo and Roman. Let's see here, sorry. Pacific
I only
Coast
know
champion,
Norman Reigns, first of all. That's
him too.
all I care about.
Pacific Coast champion, Shotgun James Carnage. Your ACW Tag Team champions, Shotgun James Carnage and Texas Jesse Tombstone Kid. Your American Territories champion, Mud and Spud Mud. Your ACW Six-Man champions, AJ Singh, Vin Perez, and the big one, Stan Andreas. And American Territory Six-Man champions, the Regulators, your Battle Royal winner, AJ Singh. So, we have, let me see here. Scroll down.
So there's a new commissioner in the
remember
ACW, so.
In the ACW, I get stuffy. In the ACW, the more activity there is, the bigger the prizes are for the pay-per-view title matches. So it's really a good reward for those that, get in there and get their shots. We have a clip here on the beginning of the show with Buford T. Justice, which I don't think he calls him that. Oh, he does that. Does use that? Okay.
Yep. That is the new commissioner of the ACW because the last commissioner died.
Yes. Chuck Norris. Don't Google him. So here we go. Commissioner credit last cycle was 30. This cycle was, that's on there somewhere, 27. So $57 into the kitty so far.
Oh.
Our champions, of course, the ACW heavyweight champion, Shrug Shadow. Your U.S. champion, the Spellcasting Frog. Your tag champs, the Heart Association. Your six-man champs, the Shadow Syndicate. I think we have so many spellcasting amphibious creatures in the leagues in the game now. It's just really out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to stand up and say, "Hey, Demolition Road Warriors"? Let's
I want to rip that fucking frog's head off.
Well, with AI, you can.
Mm-hmm.
So the next PLE, I hate the term PLE, by the way. Great American Bash. That's premier live event.
Yeah, premium major.
Sure.
Yeah, something like that.
It's all
pay per view. That's what it stands for.
So ACW's next one is the Great American Bash. We have a ACW heavyweight title match. Shrug Shadow taking on Brad the Executioner Hart. United States title match. Hocus Crocus, the champion, taking on Luther Alexander and He-Man Hoven in a three-way. From my understanding, He-Man Hoven's been in a lot of three-ways. I don't know if you can confirm or deny that.
Very few with frogs, though.
It's a new one. It's definitely a new one. That match is going to be all shenanigans. So
I can't wait for that match.
We have the ACW Heavyweight Tag Team title match. Ken the Anvil Neidhart and Terry Garcia, the champions, taking on Aja Singh and Vin Perez. ACW Heavyweight Trios title match. Jawbone Jack, Tormented Timmy, and Steel Samson taking on Eddie Chavez, Tino Sonata, and Ken Neidhart. Then you have your number one contender battle royals. Then you have a ACW Heavyweight Tag Team. So you have the ACW Heavyweight Battle Royal, which has Blackjack Robinson, Jawbone Jack, Terry Garcia, Jackknife Justice, the big one, Stan Andreas, Steel Samson, Aja Singh, General Despair, and Tormented Timmy. United States has Steel Samson, and Ravishing Dick Dude, El Luchador Americano, Bobby Brutal, Ken the Anvil Neidhart, STF Ewing, U.S. Male, Keanu Thunder, and Roman Bradley, and the ACW Heavyweight Tag Team. We have Jawbone Jack, Tormented Timmy, and Luther Alexander, and Senor Lucha, and ACW Heavyweight Trios, Singh, Perez, and Andreas, all making their way to the number one contenders battle royals, and a single match. The Gaelic Dick Moore taking on Knuckles Nelson. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, I think. I don't know about you guys. So and then you see the Shadow Syndicate in bunny suits, which is hilarious to me.
Do you dig that?
I do dig it. I do dig that. And there's people out there saying that Luther Alexander's mayor administration has been doing corruption, but is it really corruption if you're corrupting things for the people? That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
So where are we going next?
Let's see, Adam. Where are we gonna go next?
All right. I have WTL up. I can do WTL.
WTL.
All right. No, little bit there. All right. So WTL 126. The Western Frontier champion is Cecil Howard Calvert. Lone Star champion, Ham Sandwich. Central Plains champion, Ravishing Rex Chambers. Mexico champion, Trashman Balls Buckshot. Dodge City champion, Chief Top Gun. Tombstone champion, Disemboweler Mongrel. Prairie View champion, the Wyoming Cowboy. Widowmaker champion, the Renegade Riley Reinhard. The Badlands champion, Disemboweler Meathook. Cripple Creek champion, the Lone Ranger. Southwest champion, Professor M. Algernon. Chisholm Trails champion, Dr. Payne. One Western Frontier Tag Team champions winning 5 free matches. Chainsaw Chuck and Cowboy Johnny Gaines. And the Lone Star Tag Team champions, Flying Tyler Hubalewski and Renegade Riley Reinhardt. The Western Frontier 6-man champions winning another 5 free matches, the Nutty Bunnies. And the Lone Star 6-man champions, Reinhardt Jr., Sr., and Battle on Jack Brocious. And the Bunkhouse Brawl winner is Chief Top Gun.
So what's going down in the WTL?
Probably the biggest news in WTL is that legend of the WTL, Ace and Eights, retired. So I think if I remember correctly, he might have hit all 3 of them. He might have had 1,000 wins and 50 stars and $5 million. So
congratulations.
He retired. Yeah, he was awesome. So that's gonna be a tough fit. We have America's Most Wanted pay-per-view coming up, and we have Rex Chambers, who is also the Western Frontier champion, will take on Mange. Saw a nice Mange trash talk this time, so it was good to see Mange come back. It's going to be King Cowboy Schlitz versus Ricky Spanish.
Unbelievable.
But before they fight at the pay-per-view, at the had to move some stuff around, but at the IWAR Super Show, Cowboy Schlitz is going to determine Ricky Spanish's opponent, and Ricky Spanish is going to determine Cowboy Schlitz's opponent from anywhere in the IWAR.
Oh.
So they will get to decide. They get to decide who they will fight. So that should be shenanigans, which is usually the goal.
I gotta tell you something real quick. So when I was doing Ricky Spanish's trash talk today, the other day, one thing that was interesting to me. I often watch TV commercials randomly, like old ones for no reason. And there was a big hard on. Awesome. It was a big hard on in the '80s that they did not want any salsa from New York, and people used to get real upset if that salsa was from New York and
from New York City.
New York City,
and they used to get really upset. And I don't know if you ever had New York City salsa, but it's pretty good. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Right. Yes.
So
I'm pretty sure they're
so you got Ricky Spanish with the salsa from New York City.
Yes. Yes. Who wants that authentic salsa made by in New York City?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see what else. Oh, what else going on pay-per-view? Jurassic Machine will take on. I did the Contender Series numbers, and he's going to take on Steel for the number one contenders. The Disembowelers take on the Young Guns for the tag titles. Well, there's a lot of typos in this bulletin. Who wrote this? I'm gonna blame AI.
That's what I do.
As AI, obviously. So the Texas Tornado 6-man titles are going to be defended in a 521 to Yuma match, which I'll determine at some point what that actually means. And it's all the teams that got 521 so far this year. They're going to be in that match. So Maryland Blue Bloods, the Buckshots, Special Forces, Nutty Bunnies, and Posse Battle Finals, which will start next cycle. Put the teams in here for that. Nat J. Love is still the 6-shooter champion. And that's mostly it. The bracket for the Posse Battles in there. And let's see what else. Yep, just some other random stats. Not to a Darren level, but there's some stats in there. And let's see. Trash talk, the usual characters. As I said, very cool to have names drop trash talk. Wyoming Cowboy has a issue with the machines.
Love those machines, by the way.
The machines, yeah, they're a lot of fun.
So I actually took the clip from the machines and I put it. So in the magazine for the NWL, I do other fake magazines promoting other IWAR leagues in there and what's going on in there. So machines made appearance in the Pro Wrestling Illustrated in the NWL. So.
Yeah, they're everywhere. They're a whole thing. Tom does a lot of fun stuff with the machines. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of trash talk here. Cartwrights, the Blue Bloods. The Blue Bloods sent Luther Alexander. They weren't sure if he liked tea, so they sent him some Orange Julius tea, and thinking maybe
that's a good bet.
Maybe he'd like that.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, they weren't sure if he was a big tea fan or not, so they just sent him that because they, they need to come up to show up for an event, so they thought they'd bribe him with some tea. Cold hard cash would probably work better.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Father Arturo is going to rent a new. He has to rent a new church, and he found an abandoned Taco Bell, so he's going to run his church out of there for a little while because not Luther. Ricky Spanish burned his last church down. And let's see what else. Yeah, there's Ricky Spanish eating some salsa from
New York City.
Got through New York City.
Why were they so upset? I don't understand.
I'm gonna go with racism, but I'm not really sure. That's probably the answer.
I want to make my own New York City salsa.
New York City salsa.
With all the slander. Yes, it's unbelievable.
Salsa from a giant factory is obviously your more authentic salsa than.
That'd be like getting like maple syrup from, I don't know, Alabama.
Right.
Alabama.
Rex Chambers promo probably needs more belts. Let's see here. Yeah, got a nice mange promo in here again. No, Nathan Nate says goodbye, and it's a lot of trash talk.
Retired, just out of the blue.
I mean,
come on, man, killing.
Yeah, he now in in defense of Ace and Eights, he did announce January-ish, like that is on his last. He did announce that he is on his last ride or whatever.
Boo.
I didn't think it was gonna be. I didn't think it was gonna be this fast, but he was. Oh, there's a cat here now. Hello, cat.
Martini.
What are your thoughts on spellcasting frogs?
Fuck those guys.
When I was a youngster, I used to take kittens and I used to put their whole head in my mouth and just let it sit there for a while. Just saying.
All right.
There it is.
And that's
There it is.
Saying, that's WTL. I dig it.
I dig that. All right, well, where are we heading to next?
Do you want to do the BBL?
BBL. I'll do BBL. Let me get to it. Brazilian Butt Lift League. Number.
Damn right.
Waiting for this PDF to come up. It's so big that it's slowing down my whole computer here. Unbelievable. While waiting for the BBL to come up, I was recently looking for vintage style computer PC cases. Like I want like an old school like beige, like something you would get in like school, and have that be like I would convert it over to my personal computer. Think about doing that. Like $250 for the case though. It's expensive.
Yeah.
God damn it. BBL, come on up.
Oh my god.
It's taking a long time. I don't know why. Oh, we go. Oh, nope. Blue screen. That's weird.
Blue screen of death.
No, not that kind of blue screen. It's like the top of the IWA results page. I can pull it up in Edge. Does anyone actually use Edge, by the way?
No. Literally no one.
No one uses.
No one has ever used.
No one's ever.
You accidentally click on something on your computer and it starts to open an Edge and you just like scramble to close it. No one has ever used Edge. I don't think.
I used Ask Jeeves to tell me what Edge was.
Yeah. I was on Alta Vista trying to figure out or web crawler. There used to be a bunch of it.
You've got me.
Try to explain stuff like that to the kids I teach.
Well,
like, there used to be multiple search engines.
Bing? Remember Bing? Bing was a thing. Anyway.
They tried for a little bit.
All right, so Brazilian Butt Lift League, BBL Blood Blast League, tour number 584. League champion, Jesus WFU. TV champion, Sultan Bloodspill. Central Plains champion, Chuck Moxley. East Coast champion, Tusk the Warrior. Great Lakes champion, the Notorious Jesus. Mid-Atlantic champion, Super Micamus. Northeast champion, the Alpha Brock Dawson. Pacific Northwest champion, Alpha Hotel. Rocky Mountain champion, War Pig. Southeast champion, Apocalypse. Southwest champion, Cycle Bolt. West Coast champion, Vengeance. The League Tag Team Champions, Warlord Pain and Warlord Agony. TV Tag Team Champions, Mr. Smith and Park Rind. The League Six-Man Champion, Nick Rage, Blake Bloom, and the Phantom Scorpion. TV Six-Man Champion, Scarlet Knight, Scarab Knight, and the Blood Knight. And your Battle Royal winner winning 33. That's right, 33 free BBL matches. Tusk the Warrior. Now, are you a warrior that uses Tusk, or do you declare war on all Tusk? Like, do you like hunt elephants for their ivory tusks? Is that the gimmick here?
I think he has tusks.
So he's a
like
Tuscan warrior, right? He's a warrior full of tusks, looking to create havoc and destroy the BBL. Fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough.
I believe.
Okay. So see a lot of trash talk here from the Lords of War, the Crimson Knights. Good stuff overall. You have the War Family of Doom doing their stuff. Is that the Milkman? Is that a thing?
Yes,
it's a thing.
Yep.
All right. So we're missing a commissioner's report. Seems like.
Yeah, he sent it in late, so
no worries. Happens to the best.
Sorry,
of
it
us. Happens to the best of us. All right, so that is the Bloodbath League in a nutshell. I, in fact, do dig that.
All right.
All right,
I'll do BRL if you want.
BRL.
All right, so the Battle Royal League 652. Your league champion, Super Stud John Bowden, winning $25 in IWA credit. Your Battle Royal winner, also winning $25 in IWA credit, Low Blow Lemaki. Your TV champion. Your TV champion, not winning IWA credit, Genshiro Teriyaki. Central Plains champion, Super Sexy Shane Dowell. East Coast champion, Razzle Dazzle. I thought he was dead. Great Lakes champion, Hillbilly Kevin.
Just put another guy in the mask. It's fine.
Yeah, no, it's just the same guy, same mask. Middle East champion, Vex Virilli. Northeast champion, Low Blow Lenamaki. Pacific Northwest champion, Fenris. Rocky Mountains champion, The Playboy, Mick Ferrari. Southeast champion, Uncle McAllister. Your Southwest champion, Diabolical Ricky Savage. And West Coast, Crusher Nutella. Then our tag champions, Diabolical Ricky Savage and Sid Credence. Your TV tag champions, Alex and Axel Von Schnapp. Your six-man champions, the Alpha Males. Your TV six-man champions, the Heyman, the brothers Heyman. So, all that. And the packed league, buddy, I'm telling you. We've had, I wanted to mention this, I've had about 4 different players at least miss a deadline in the last 3 cycles or so. They forgot it was coming up. So I'm going to establish some sort of I know I send out the cheat sheet on the Thursday-ish.
Thursday or Friday, yep.
Yeah, so we'll try to do some sort of reminder, hey, you've 3 days or 2 days to get your stuff in,
Or we can just post a date. It was get it in. We'll call it Sunday. Call it Sunday night.
Yeah. Because I just noticed some of the guys inactive, and of course, certain wrestlers being inactive means my guy has a higher ranking, so I'm okay with that. But you other guys, be back. So this issue, of course, on page 24 goes into the report, and of course we have our Tuesday Night Grand Slam, which is chock full of action and information. And one of the things I like to do is I like to read my bulletin all at once, and so I've read some of this. So I'm just gonna say this: you should really read the Tuesday Night Grand Slam. It's a fun read. It is really cool how it has reactions to wrestlers around the IWA reacting to what's happening. Let's see here, and then of course we roll into the Magibash 26 promo poster. And of course, I had the 4 Corners of Chaos. I've had 3 people say they want to be in it, and it's going to be interesting because it's kind of a feast or famine. It's the winner overall gets a global shot at the Iowa global champion at Art of Anarchy, and the last ranked or the least successful wrestler gets put in the draft. I expanded the BR report a little bit last time, did a little more of that this time, so. It's bigger print. It's kind of the same message. It's easier to read. But I took the out of character page where I talk about kind of behind the scenes stuff, and I put an active roster. I screwed up 1 or 2 things, but that's okay. That's what I do. I wanted to show a combination of who's in the league, and this is active. So you see in the bottom Jason, Dwayne, Curtis, Scott, Nelson, Aaron, Tyler. like all guys who've like said to me like, "Hey, I want to come back in the last 6 months or so," or they're waiting until inspiration hits them. And I agree. Like Scott and I have talked about him coming back, and it's always like, wait till you're ready, because if you come back and you're like, ugh, it's a chore, I'm not really having fun, wait till you're ready. But when you come back, go nuts, have fun. Let's see here. The Joe 2's a challenge. I'll be updating that, but no one's won it yet, so we're probably looking over 20 for tag and trios as a prize pool. And as always, this league is loaded with trash talk and angles and excitement and so forth and fun. I will say I did a little fun. Jim Spur talks about wanting to get over a bad loss to Brian Welch by just going out and beating somebody up, and the next page is him beating up Dick Ferrari. But just as always, there's a lot of trash talk in the league, a lot of good competitors in the league. I'm always trying to work on stuff behind the scenes to get some fun feuds going. Always feel free to reach out to me if you have ideas, something like that. So, anyways, let's just call that the BRL's loaded. Have fun. So there it is.
All right, man.
There it is.
I dig it. Where are we off to next? Our travels.
All right. I guess it'll be my turn. I will. Let's do the IWL because I know these people.
IWL.
So the IWL league champion is IWL number 224. League champion is the Highwayman. The television champion Sam Hain. New York City champion
New York City
is the Edge Johnny Walker. Did he have salsa there? I'm not sure. I'll ask him next time. Los Angeles champ, the Golden God Brady Buckshot. The Boston champ Andrew Aberlour. The Detroit champ, legend Buzz Prescott. Cleveland champ, the Savior. Dallas champ, the Shotgun Kid. Memphis champ, Chase Grace. Miami champ, Lee Tigation. San Francisco champ, Cowboy Western. And the Chicago champ, Adam Michaels. League tag team champions are the team of 13 and Christopher Kane. And the TV tag champions, Cowboy Western and Pool Cleaner LG.
I get it.
Yeah. Not sure who manages those guys.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know too. The league six-man champions, the Count Chauncey Reynolds, the Baron Clyde Bigsby, and the Duke Wesley Sterling. And the TV six-man champions, Michigan Border Patrol, and the Battle Royal winning, 57 free matches, the legend Buzz Prescott. So it's going down in the IWL. Getting set up for the next pay-per-view. I think they're so-called pay-per-views in this league. Guys, scroll. And that would be Soul Survivor, which is going to take place in Mexico City. Looks like based on this cycle and the previous cycle, champions will face off to be number one contenders. So we will see how that all works out. And then if there's any other trash talk, the best of the best. I could go look those. I could look up the.
I got it if you want it.
I was gonna say. I know Derek posted that. I am out, so there will be a new champion this year.
I'm out too.
I had to take on Brad Norman, so.
I would do it.
Brad Norman, he's washed up.
Yeah,
that guy.
That guy. Yeah. He's really good. Let's see. I can probably remember who won each one.
You want to know?
Yeah. So it was Tommy won, and then he got a bye. Frank won. Frank beat you. Wade upset Salman Shaw. Derek beat Glenn. Brad beat me. And then Caleb beat Mitchell. And I missed one. Where's
Tom?
Where's the other Tom? Oh, Tom, yeah, there it is. and then Tom Fletcher won. So trying to remember the exact bracket for next round. It's nice. But whatever. That's going on still. So other than that, we got our usual amount of trash talk in the IWL. Always interesting when Best of the Best comes to the league, because then you have like a mixture of like people talking about the best of the best against each other, and then like the characters from the IWL still. So kind of have like this hybrid thing going on right now. The Astros talk their trash, and Von Snaps are here. Axel. Okay. I was making sure there weren't 5 of them. Nope. There's just 3. Okay. They just changed their shirts. It confused me. The Jerks, the Americanos, and Eliatari in there. Kamikaze. And let's see, Swamp Sock Jr. Let's see here. Debuting Adam Michaels, Sam Hain, usual characters in the IWL. That's what's going down in the IWL.
I dig that. All right, I guess we'll head over to the CWL. Continental Wrestling League, number 354, league champion, the reprobate Lanny Teague. He wins 10 free matches. TV champion Duff Dugan, United States champion the American Patriot, Yukon champion Happy Meal, Caribbean champion the Major Benefactor, Amazon British champion the Genuine Artificial, British Isles champion Danny Nye, Arabian champion Mean Mr. Fist, South African champion author of Agony LePage Turner, Siberian champion Midnight Scorpion, East Asian champion Trucker Van Leer, Oceanic champion Picasso, League Tag Team champions winning another 5 free matches, Axel Von Schnapp and Alex Von Schnapp, TV Tag Team champions, the Major Benefactor and the Genuine Artificial, League 6-man champions, the Major Benefactor, Nature Boy Phil Landers and the Genuine Artificial, TV 6-man champion Axel Alex and Alex Von Schnapp, your Battle Royal winner 25, that's right, 25 free CWL matches. The reprobate Lanny Teague. So what's going down in the CWL? Looks like they have a pay-per-view called New Beginnings starting shortly. Looks like the main event of that one for the CWL World title. Nature Boy Phil Landers taking on Hypnotic. You also have the Internet title match Scapegoat versus Hardin Long. With the special guest referee, the Chameleon. A 6-man title match Newcomer taking on the Von Schnapps. Tag team title match Millennial Reign taking on the Cowboy Killers. Flag match American Patriot taking on Arnai Shiesty. Triple threat match Picasso, Overtaker, and the Zodiac Horoscope. And then we have the author of Agony LePage Turner taking on Late Night Logan Kane. Number 1 contenders match for the CWL World title Reborn Jonathan Davis. The reprobate Lanny Teague versus a league champion at 354, which would be Lanny Teague won it again, huh?
And yeah, that's what Lanny Teague does.
That's what he does. That's all it. The time. And then number 1 contenders match for the CWL Internet champion Chucker Van Leer taking on Picasso, taking on who was the TV champion that I just said? That would be Duff Dugan. And in that match, then you have Happy Meal taking on Barry USA Stevens, and Mr. Meanfest taking on Mark the Fan Botch. I like the new look CWL report though. That looks dope.
Yeah,
it's a great job.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So keep that up. That's dope. But overall, again, check out the CWL. They're doing great stuff over there. My man Mark the Fan Botch is over there. You got Scapegoat and those guys over there. Barry Stevens. And across the board, good dudes all around. So.
The Underwear's Wrestling School.
That was awesome. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Stop your normal job.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Why are there stains? Anyways.
Why there's stains there. I like that CWL championship belt too. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's what it's the modern era of AI where everyone can make, stuff look slick. So to get yourself to the next level is going to be a big deal. Like, okay, now it's a contest about who can be more slick in the report. So good job overall, though. So keep it up, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, where are we heading to next?
Oh, RTL, Rolling Thunder League number 56. Your league champion. Sorry, I'm parched all of a sudden. Thanks, Lucas. The Heartthrob, Dan Corvette. Your league tag champions, the Texan and the Automatic Slim, winning 5 free matches. Also winning 5 free matches, Onagi, Ginsu, and Hanzo. All right, that's your your champions. The TV champions, Hydro. Central Plains champion, the Great Entertainer, Brian Clothier. East Coast champion, Snacks. Great Lakes champion, the Sugar Don. Middle Atlantic champion, Dionysus. Northeast champion, Apollo. Pacific Northwest champion, No Miss, G Honor. Rocky Mountains champion, Zeus. Southeast champion, T-Bird. Southwest champion, the Menacing Minister. And the West Coast champion is G-Force, Gary Morris. Your TV tag champions, the Maryland Militia, G-Force, Gary Morris, and the Great Entertainer, Brian Clothier. Your 6-man TV champions are the same thing, Random Baltimore Vagrant, G-Force, Gary Morris, and the Great Entertainer, Brian Clothier. Your Battle Royal winner, winning 29 free RTL matches, the Great Entertainer, Brian Clothier. All right, so I noticed this league is getting bigger. The average number of wrestlers in the column is good, so that's good to see. We always see the other leagues pick up. So let's see what they're looking at for match totals. We're looking at 56. Nice, 56 cards. Good to see. Of course, this is Greg Mead's report, and I like it a lot. When I was doing this, filling in, I kept it very simple, and he just ran with it and made it even better. So it looks really nice, easy to read. Looking for answers. I love the little, question board here. You can see what's going on with various actions. You can see your bonuses, the number of pay-per-views for the year. You're trying to see if they're all like Final Impact, Unnatural Disaster. Someone was saying like Steve Seagal movies are always 3 words, like
Out for Justice,
Marked for Death, Hard to Kill. What was that?
Out for Justice.
Out for Justice, yeah. Papacito is still your champion there with the True Impact Heavyweight Championship. And I noticed they got a 501 club too. I have to start one of those apparently. But RTL is getting better and better, and I like it because it's essentially when Scott was running it and we drafted Greggy Money into there, and we knew what we're getting with him as a foundational guy. Then he took over the report, and then he drafted in Maryland Militia and Bullseye Syndicate. So you just have all this talent there, and it's getting better. The other guys joining in too. So it's a fun league to watch. I highly recommend it if you're looking for another IWAR league. Let's see here. Tropic Thunder lineup. Let's see here. We got the Mayhem, Tornado Turmoil for the number 1 contender spot. Your title match is either Gary Morris or Brian Clothier versus the Headline, Papacito. Papacito's also fun. I watched him grow from just being kind of a, guy on a beach, lounge chair to like actually being a big time star. Let's see here. Yeah, I would just recommend going here and reading the trash like yourself. It's gonna be so much better than just me saying, "Hey, check this out." Lots of use of AI, and that's okay as we're using it. So, good looking report, good looking league. That's the RTL, and I think that's all of them, right?
That's it. What do you got for us? IWAR wide.
Oh my God! Well, IWAR wide. We wrapped up the spring events. So the Johnny B Cup came down to King Khan, Kamikaze, and Hydro. And I always feel like when you're in an event, if you lose like a match because the person pulled like a 516 or 501 or 500, like you just go, well, you know what? At least I lost somebody. It wasn't one of those like I pulled a 489, they had a 492. Like, yeah, I should have won that match. Hydro pulled a 500. So Hydro wins the Johnny B Cup this year. And then the Murano, the Von Schnaps won. And then the Maryland Blue Bloods came in second, and the McFlyers came in third. So Adam gets a nice big chunk of change out of that one.
Yes.
And the Catfish Clark Classic went to the McFlahertys and Michael Przybylewski. So good run there for you in the spring events.
Yeah, get those. Well, I was out of the Giant B Cup in the second round, so I need the other two.
Hey, that's all right.
Whatever.
2 out of 3 is not bad.
Try songs about that.
So a Magic Clash, we'll give the results now because it's better. But we had Hydro and Rex battle to a draw, and then because Rex had the tiebreaker, we had a title match between Ravishing Rex Chambers against Kamikaze, who just cashed in his briefcase and beat Skullfire 3 weeks ago. And again, Rex had a 500, so it's a tough loss, but at least you're losing to a good score. So because of that victory, we've vacated the IWAR Revolution belt, and that belt will be determined new champion at Super Show. Talk about that in a second. The Regulators were defeated by Michael Przybylewski and the McFlahertys. McFlahertys over the Regs again. Brian will be so happy.
They also went to their farm,
and then
they went to their farm in the BRL too. And I tried to get AI to create a Catfish Rob inspired cartoon style. It couldn't do it. It can't.
That's impossible.
It's a master. They can't do that. But I just put it in anyways. So they did that. But yeah.
Nice. Well, the Graces, the Amazing Graces, were the tag champs. The Von Schnaps defeated him. It was 5/16. The tiebreaker went to the Von Schnaps. So we have 1, 2, 3 new champs, and it'll be a 4th new champ once we figure out the Super Show. So that's all set. All right. The Dodge conversion vans. What in the hell is going on there? All right. So, Super Show. Let me pull that up. So right now, the Super Show is a collection of just kind of random matches. But we have some set in stone. Like the CWL is the War Games thing set up. We talked earlier about the Ricky Spanish, King Schmidt matchup. BRL, I've got Punk Rock Mike versus Super Sexy Shane Dowell. Luther Alexander versus Death Pack Mystery Opponent. I don't know if that's still happening or not. Figure that out.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's actually the Yellow Scorpion, by the way. So you can announce that. Let's see. Luther Alexander taking on the Yellow Scorpion.
I will. Yeah.
So the Yellow Scorpion, the Yellow Scorpion has made their appearance. They're with Johnny Revolution as a way to mock Luther. So he mocks him by dressing the Red Scorpion in yellow, hence mocking.
Oh boy.
Okay. The concept.
Your title match will be IWAR title match: Lex Stevenson versus
Weston Steele.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait, what?
We have a Revolution Championship match to figure out the new champion for that. That'll be explained later. The IWAR World Tag match, we have the Von Schnaps versus the Disembowelers. We have the IWAR World Trios champions, Michael Przybylewski and the McFlahertys, against the Sailor, the Pilot, and the Dam Builder. So we're going to figure out who Aria Gunpowder is fighting. Greggy Money is fighting Gary Morris in a $100,000 challenge match. So that'll be fun. In this issue of the IWAR, we started talking about the IWAR draft. It is our biggest event of the year. It's a lot of fun. Go read the IWAR draft preview and check out all the fun and what goes on about it. Other things going on, the Summer Series is loading up now. So if you want in on the Summer Series, it's $5, but it's the only event they have to pay for this part of the year. So it's a pretty good deal. And it's a really hard contest, but it's a lot of fun. The King of the Ring, the All Rookie Cup, the Bad Company Cup, the Elite Trios tournament and the Lethal Lottery are all basically filling up. But if you were like, hey, I wanted to get this guy in it, like, that's fine. Just send me a message. We'll do what we can. We're going to try to make it as easy as possible for everybody. But I believe that's all I got.
All right, man. I dig it. Ugh. Another day, another dollar. In addition, Johnny B, make sure you watch the feature film Malibu High. That's your homework assignment.
How about I got one for him.
Oh, you got one for him?
This is a messed up one. Bless the Beast and the Children. This movie scarred me as a kid. Bless the Beast and the Children. So
the movie that scarred me as a child was the movie Pieces. If you've ever seen that film.
Pieces.
It's a horror film that my siblings made me watch, and it was horrifying.
Oh boy. All right.
There it is. All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Adam and for Matt, I'm Alex G.